Sign up at the end of this review to get my personal gear list.
It's not all about the guitar player. Sorry, guitar players, it's not all about you. And it's not all about the business owner. And it's not all about the forest. And it's not all about the dealer. And it's not all about any one of these single things. It's about this one guitar that we make every day. We do it hundreds of times a day, but it's about this guitar serving a lot of people.
So we spoke about the 600 series, and last year the 800 series being revamped with Andy Power's help. And I do have a question, and the reason the question exists is because this has seemed like a very organic integration, meaning Andy's integration into helping design, having an impact with design. And I'm interested at the actual story of how you met him and how this integration came to be, because as an outside viewer, it seems incredibly smooth.
It's a modern day miracle. Is really what it is, and so you have to believe in miracles to hear this story. But you know, I just reached a point where I realized that somebody has to take over from me. Larry Breedlove, who worked with me as my guitar design partner for years, retired this year. 5 years ago, I said, Larry, when are you going to retire? He said, in 5 years. He kept his word. He did. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to find somebody not to replace Larry, but to replace me and Larry.
Right,
you know?
right.
And how do you do that?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really want to bring someone up from the factory because that's not what I want. I need a wellspring. I need someone who's learned all of this stuff on their own and has ideas of their own, but ideas that we can live with, you know, better ideas than what I have. I really literally sat down and I wrote this on a piece of paper. I said, dear God, I need one guitar maker who is a better guitar builder than me, who's self-taught, that didn't learn how to do it by working in another factory, who's a pro player and can play with anybody at the drop of a hat, you know, could be on stage with the best of them, who's a great person, who won't get into this 15 years and then screw up his life and we have to start all over, you know, who knows the history of guitars, knows how to make guitars. I mean, I wrote all of these things down, and it's like, this one's going to blow your mind. He needs to have 30 years or 20 years of experience and be less than 30 years old, right? I wrote it down. I am totally not kidding you. And then I said, oh yeah, and he's got to be from San Diego, right? And then I looked at it and laid on my desk for a while. It went in a drawer, laid on my desk, and finally ended up just being, you know. And then one day I met Andy because he was playing guitar for Jason Mraz at our booth at the NAMM show. Oh, Andy Powers, blah, 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 you know, oh yeah, you're that guy who makes arch tops up in Oceanside, I remember. Yeah, okay, all right, cool, nice meeting you, that. I also know another guitar maker in town named Pepe Romero Jr., whose father is the great classical player Pepe Romero. And they both live in Oceanside, Andy and Pepe. They both surf the waves every morning. They're both newly married. They both have new kids. They both are guitar makers that work by themselves. They don't even know each other. And I call them and I go, you guys have to know each other. You know, I'm putting together a play date, you know, let's do it. I have a house up there in Solana Beach, meet me there, and we'll hang out for 8 hours, have a good time. The only rule is each one of us have to bring a guitar we made. So we did that, had a great time. Next day I'm driving to work and I visualized that list. I'd known Andy for 8 hours now, but I could check every box on the list. I mean, Andy was 28 years old at the time. He started building when he was 7, legitimately building when he was 7, right?
That list of criteria is
it's impossible. No, you can't, you can't, it doesn't exist. It totally doesn't exist. And I'm not into the name it and claim it type of philosophy, but I am into, if you write down some of the things you want, sometimes you can see it when it's standing right in front of you. Otherwise you might not even notice that. And so I talked with Andy, and he came, and you know, Andy's got a take on what happened here, but it was just good, and it's only been better than what we both had envisioned. It's really wonderful. So Andy and I work great together, and I'm completely confident in turning things over to him. There's not very many people that I can say, well, I like the inlay he designs, I like the shape he designs, I like the sound he designs, I like his thinking about glue, I like his ability to do a trial on something and see how it works and give me data that work,
Yeah.
you know. And so between him doing that and me taking my lumps and successes of 40 years and kind of melding it together,
Yeah.
and of course a factory that we have that is capable of producing things that he likes. And if we're not, we become capable because we have a real can-do spirit out there. We build whatever needs to be built, and we teach and learn whatever needs taught and learned, and we adapt however we need to adapt to
Right.
make a better guitar. And so that's great for Andy because he's designing stuff and we're actually building it, you know, authentically to what he designed. He doesn't have to make compromises. So when it came time to do a 600 series, I completely trust him to take this concept,
Yeah.
put it together. I'll work on the wood. Steve will work on the wood. I'll work on telling the story. Andy can make the good guitar. He can tell the story. And I think we can change the world a little bit.
That's awesome, and you notice that just walking around from building to building, it is a can-do attitude. Everybody here really has that can-do attitude, and I think it's incredible in an industry that has such strong opinions, such strong tradition, to have people come together with a common vision and just work together to do it, and not say, well, this is the way we're going to do it because I designed it, and of course I'm a guitar player and I have the best idea.
Right.
You know, just to be open to that, we're going to do this for, you know, we're going to make a good guitar. We're going to sustainably access and harvest and make sure these woods are around for years to come. It's a really cool story, and I admire the, I'm going to use the word organic again, integration of Andy to this whole Taylor Guitars that was here and pretty well established. I mean, it wasn't like a new startup. I think that's fascinating. It's incredible.
Yeah, I feel we're in really safe hands with Andy as he takes us guitar design into the future. I mean, it's like we're working with, you know, today's Lloyd Loar or something like that.
Yeah.
And we both realize that we have to serve a lot of, I'm going to say, clients when we make a guitar.
Yeah.
It's not all about the guitar player. Sorry, guitar players, it's not all about you. And it's not all about the business owner. And it's not all about the forest. And it's not all about the dealer. And it's not all about any one of these single things. It's about this one guitar that we make every day. We do it hundreds of times a day, but it's about this guitar serving a lot of people.
Yeah.
Serving our employees, serving even people like you that are interested in it or want to report, serving the industry, serving the sustainability of the earth, serving music, serving players. And if you think about all of those when you're building a guitar, it can become more than a guitar. And I think it's great for it to be more than a guitar.
That's awesome. What a perfect takeaway. It is more than a guitar. Absolutely. Thank you, Bob Taylor, for taking time out of your schedule and sharing with us some of the really cool stuff that you have going on. And just keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Thanks.
Sincerely.
We'll do it. I'm not tired yet.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet. Let's put it this way. Here's the theory of the world according to Bob. It takes a winter to teach people how to think ahead. Just go back 10,000 years.